Hi all, welcome back. Hal here with more Empyrion, Galactic Survival. And what we've been doing is, while I've been off camera, I went out and did a little bit of resource gathering. As you can see, we're slowly resupplying here. The only thing I don't have more of is the neodymium because of the planet that I'm on. But I will probably be heading out later this week in order to get more of this, as well as some of the sathium and some of the other resources. So, excuse me. First, I want to apologize for my voice. As you can tell, like I said, late last week, one of my coworkers actually came in sick and apparently passed it on to me. So, so it's been a long weekend and a longer week. So happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic week so far, at least better than mine. Yeah, so I just want to take a minute to thank everybody who's been leaving the comments and the likes on each of the videos. It is greatly appreciated. As you know, the channel has been growing fairly quickly. About 2 weeks ago, we broke the 500 mark on subscribers, and I just wanted to take a moment and, just say thank you all. You have no idea how appreciated it actually is on this side. There's a lot of things going on in my life, and having, knowing that people are enjoying the stuff that I'm enjoying, it makes it all worthwhile. So seriously, all thank you. Okay, so that being said, as you can see, excuse me. As you can see, we have actually gone ahead and planted a bunch of crops. I think we've got pretty much everything in here now. This is our aloe vera patch so that we can mass produce the med kits. Tomatoes so that we can make the canned meat. And then we have, the peppers, the space durians. We have the coffee beans, and then we were going to have some more pumpkin seeds. I've actually got a couple cooking over here right now. Let's see. There's my pumpkin sprouts. Alright. So, let's go ahead and place the last two of these. So, for the folks that have been asking about the base, it is actually defensible. We've had some of just the roving patrols come through the area, and as long as you have ammo in that gun, it's able to take on pretty much, I think the biggest one we've seen has been 4 or 5 drones simultaneously. Base took no damage. So, what's really going on with this thing, and I think where some of the confusion comes in on it, is that the drones basically have roughly the same range as players, at least if you're using the rifles. This cannon is probably 25 to 50% further ranged than the drones, at least on the starter worlds. When you start getting into the more advanced worlds, the larger drones, they actually have a slightly larger range than the drones that you will run into on Aqua or Omicron. So that is something to keep in mind, but the thing is that you can always swap this out for bigger guns. The later versions of the weapons, let's see here. Those are all personal weapons. We want the base weapons. Where are our base weapons? Okay. So, does this tell you what the range is? Yeah, so 500 meters range on the rocket turret. The cannon turret is 625. I mean, this is just crazy. What that effectively works into on a normal planet like Aqua is somewhere around 350 or so meters range. The plasma turret's at 550, so you would expect that to be probably around 200, 250 on Aqua. And then the flak turret is a 875 range. If you put 1 or 2 of these on, like a flak turret on your base, the incoming drones don't stand a chance, because before they even see your base, they will be dead. You'll be tagging them at about 500-600 meters away from your base. It's rather overpowered. But again, things like the flak turret really are meant more for space defense or on the PvP defense, where you do need to have that little bit longer range. But when you start using them in the on bases in PvE, they are brutal. So some of the other changes that we've made, I don't know if I showed these to you last time or not. We've added more lights. We now have lights under the water here. As you can see, I did color correct the glass plates here. So you do have a lot of light. Some people like it a little bit brighter, some people might not. I mean, you still could always put lights here on this piece here, or even in the floors. Maybe rearrange some things in here and put lights in. I don't recommend putting them on the glass, but you know, each your own. So we now have the glass walkway out here. As you can see, I've put more lights out around the perimeter of the base. We now have the work lights out here as well, and then some more of the regular lighting here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a cut until we come back. We'll come back when daylight is out again. As you can see, we are just starting to get into the night in the game. And so what I want to do is I'm going to start working on the landing pad area. Now I'm trying to decide on whether or not I want to just go ahead and make this the landing pad, because it's kind of set up like that already. So what we would do is put another couple of windows in here so that you end up with a single walk through here. And then I think if I do, what I will end up doing is extending this out one, so we'll put another rounded edge like we have on the other side there, and then bring this out another row, and this will be the furthest forward as the rows would get on it. Probably bring it out to, I don't know, about 15-20 blocks, so somewhere around here, and then take it out into the lake. And this would be the CV landing area, and then I may put in a secondary smaller landing pad for an SV or HV, so the small craft or hovercraft docking or slash landing area, mainly because of the fact that with the way that this is set up right now, as you know, we've got our water supply and oxygen supply down there. Let me get back in where we've got some light for you. So yeah, basically what I'm thinking is that if we do that, can we get up? Let's go up here. So if we do that, we're going to have a giant pad over here for landing, specifically the CV. And then we could have either a small pad over on this side for SVs, and then a third pad out here for HVs, or just make this one a somewhat large pad, do it maybe by like a 10 by 10, and have it big enough to dock a couple of SVs and an HV or two as well. I'm not sure how much of the HV I'm actually going to use this season, mainly because of the fact that I'm not planning on fully conquering each planet. We know that there is a new alpha build coming on this game fairly soon, and there's supposed to be some new additions. So what we're going to really doing is just basically putting a forward base on each planet. That each forward base will have is we'll actually go into creative mode, design that up later this week. We may do that, well, I guess technically we're in the middle of the week already, so maybe for Friday what we'll do is go into creative, we'll design the forward base so that way you can see what it'll be like, and then we'll just basically gather up all the resources we need to make 2 or 3 of those at one shot. And then all we'll need to do at that point is basically go hit the immediate planets that we want to populate, and we'll take it from there. So I am going to go ahead and do a cut here. I will see you all shortly. Be right back. And welcome back all to another glorious day. So basically what I've been doing is throughout the night I've just been finding the resources down and producing some things. I haven't started producing the blocks that we need yet, but I did change out the cannon for the flat cannon, and where the regular cannon on Aqua is firing at about 250-300 meters, the flat cannon started firing at a little over 400 meters out. So that just gives you an idea of what types of ranges we're talking about here. This drone was far enough out that it was not aggroing on the base. However, it was close enough for the base to aggro on the drone. So now, did you actually? You were one that I killed the last time I was over here. That's one of the things that I would like to see the developers address, by the way. If you get far enough away from things where it goes out of the render range, the game stops tracking its decay rate. Now, it does not do that for food for some reason, but it does do it for corpses. So if you kill something and then you get a couple hundred meters away from it so that it drops off your render, when you come back, it may still be there. So even though the corpses should decay in about, I think, 5 to 10 minutes in real time, yeah, it's just doesn't do so for the... Well, that was a waste of time. I came all the way out here for 50 bullets, huh? Okay. Gotta love this game sometimes. Alright, so let's head back to the base. I'll go show you what I've been doing. I did do a little bit of colorization on that pad off to the side. I think I'm going to use that for my SV landing location. Like I said, I'm not planning on having, you know, 15, 20 vessels this time. I'm thinking that it'll be 1 or 2 SVs at most. I may do an HV just to do planetary exploration, but the thing is that in order for me to use an HV on other planets, I have to load it onto the CV, which means I then have to unload it from the CV when I get to those planets. I can't do like I can with an SV, where I can dock it with the capital ship, and then when, you know, we get into orbit, I can leave the capital ship in orbit, take the SV down to the planet, do what I need to do, and then come back. I've been thinking about maybe trying to build an SV, that cargo hauler, basically. I built one a few seasons back as a special event. Basically, I built this giant cargo hauler, but I was thinking maybe ramping that up a little bit. See if we can... There we go. But yeah, I was thinking about ramping that up a little bit and making it big enough for an HV to pull into. So I'm not sure if I want to try that or not. So let me know what you think in the comments below if you want to see something like that being built. I'll give it a try. I mean, I've got some design ideas for it, and I think it might be kind of interesting to do. It would definitely be different, especially for me. So, but yeah, as you can see here, I did colorize this, so I'm going to use this as the landing bay. Get up here, show you what else will be done. I still need to add the windows on this side, but as you can see, we've got it. So when you're up above, you can clearly see where your landing area is. And what I'm going to be doing is I've got lights being built right now, and we're going to put a light out here, and we're going to have one in each of the corners, so that way the landing pad is nice and bright when we're coming back. I'm going to show you what we're doing resource-wise now. All my flak shells are done. Yay! So we're finally getting to the point now where we can start finishing the updates for the base. We're going to put that there. Put that there, so we now have the ability to heal. Yay! Alright, so let's heal up really quick. Okay. And do I have... I spend so much time underwater on this planet. Now, having the oxygen station, a lot of people have asked why do I worry so much about oxygen on Aqua. And it's for 2 reasons. One, like I said, you do end up spending a remarkable amount of time in the water, especially if you're out hunting drones. They seem to tend to like to die over the water. I don't know. It's a nice resting place, I guess. Who knows? But yeah, so you will end up in or around the water quite a bit. The other aspect to that is when you have your HVs or SVs or even CVs, if they do not have an oxygen system built into them, you use your internal oxygen even if you're in an atmosphere that you can breathe. So having an oxygen station at the base, you just cap up before you head out, and you're usually pretty good for whatever you need to be doing, unless you're going some ridiculous distance. Looks like all of our vegetables are done too. How much meat do we have? 1, 2, 3. Because what we're going to do is we're going to start making some of our more delicious dinners. So make our ratatouille. Actually, the dino stew, I think is what it's called. Right. Yeah, the dino stew royale. How much? Alright. Now, part of the reason why I am actually making all of this now is I'm going to be making a new refrigerator. I can make the tier 2s now, so I'm just waiting for the stuff in the crafting station to finish up. And there. So what we're going to do is we're going to store this. We're going to store the cooked goods over here until this air. Oh, it's done. Nice. Even better. All right. So, and we have the things to make it. Even better than that. All right. So what we're going to end up doing now is let me go ahead and queue up a few dozen blocks because we want to make. I don't know. Let's go with 100 of those. Now to give us our 10 by 10 that we were talking about. Actually, okay, so we're going to go with 200 blocks so that we can do the CV landing area that we were talking about. And I am going to do that out here. What I'll do is I'll take this window out and we'll start expanding outwards from here. Now I haven't decided if I'm going to center it up on here or if I'm going to have it offset so that it's basically the walkway here is the first block on the pad, and then we'll have the pad go this way, so everything's kind of leaning towards one side. Part of the reason why I'm trying to decide on how I want to do that is because I think I'm going to put a residential area out there as well. So we'll probably have like another med station, probably a second oxygen station, and since it's all tied to the same base, I only have to put oxygen in this one tank and be able to have just the stations out there. So I think that's what we're going to do. We'll have some cargo out there as well, you know, make it an actual flight deck. So, alright, so while we're waiting for all of this stuff to finish crafting, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick cut, and I will be right back. And welcome back. And as you can see, we have made it through another night. And we have sunrise coming up over there, and we should have a little bit more light here in a few moments. But I just want to show you what I've been working on throughout the night. We did have another drone flyby. So yeah, basically what I've done is I've closed off the roof area. Just to show you here. See, the turret doesn't actually impact with this, so that's a good thing. But we had a couple more drone patrols that were over there in the distance, and yeah, the cannon's been working fine. So I think I can say that this base is self-sufficient as far as, or self-defensible as far as the drones go. In PvP, well, you know, PvP being what it is. But we now do have this closed off, so in the case that you are on a PvP server, it does, you know, slow them down just a little bit. Yeah, they're probably still just going to come through the windows, but you know, this really isn't built for a PvP base. It's really just PvE. As you can see, our crops are coming in nicely. Show you what I've done over here. We've got all of our health and everything in here now. So what I've done here is I've actually built a 2-tier structure. So up on the top, this is where our SV will reside once it's completed. And what I wanted to do is basically have an area that I could have an SV, and then if I ever chose to put one together, I have a spot for an HV or a second SV if we do, because I have that small like interceptor, the 2-cannon interceptor. And I was figuring if I built one of those, I'd need a place to dock, so I'd put the small fighter here and put the larger SV up on top, because I am going to be building a larger SV so that I can put a crafting station on it as well as an oxygen station. I still need to put the the window in here, don't I? And then for those with the astute eyes have noticed I actually have gone ahead and built the large landing pad. So this is where we're actually going to be doing most of our work while we're building the SV, and this will also be where we start our build for the CV. So what I'm planning on doing is probably, I don't know, Friday. We'll see if we can get enough parts together to do it, But what I need to do is to start the CV build so that I can start getting into the other planets and start dropping off bases. So what I'm thinking we'll probably do for Friday's episode is do a design episode where we'll be in creative, and we'll do, we'll put together the advanced base. We'll also start building the CV and see basically what we need to do to get all of that together. But I think that is pretty much all we have today. I wanted to go ahead and get the SV started, since we have this nice wide open area here. Alright, so that is... Can I remember which direction is the front on these things? So we're going to add a couple of blocks anyway. So let's go ahead and add 2 blocks to this side. Haha, so I was right. Okay. So what we're going to do, it's going to do a little bit different here. This cockpit, actually, the first block under, so this area here, you can see down. So if you're in first person perspective and when you're piloting this, and you have this cockpit, you can actually see under the cockpit. Some people don't know that, so... Alright, so that's the basic there. What we're going to do here is go... what is that, 5? 6. Okay. So that should give us an odd, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Off by 1. Alright. And then we're going to bring 4, 3, 3. And we're going to do the same on this side. I know I could be using symmetry mode, but I hate symmetry mode in this game. Alright. Okay, so now that we have that, what we're going to do here is... Where do I want these? I want these somewhat protected. So we're going to put those there. Add those there. And then what I'm going to do with this is, as you can see, I've got 2 generators. And we want these to be protected as well, but because we don't have to get into them, we're going to put them over here, I think, or in here. So I was thinking about putting them actually out over here in the nacelles and do them as nacelles. That might not be a bad idea, but I think we're going to put them on either side of that. So we have that. We've got our thrusters, obviously. And there. All right. Right. So basically what I'm doing is I wanted to try something with, doing something a little bit different. So the idea is that with the way that this is being developed or designed, is that we'll be able to walk in, and I'm going to put armor blocking on the outside of this. And we're going to have the thrusters and stuff, but basically you'll be able to walk in and do the maintenance on whatever you need. So this will be basically a lander ship. And you know what? I actually want... Let's go ahead and take those out. And what we're going to do here is this. Oopsie, a little too far. Don't need that many. Come on, let me out. Thank you. So, one of the nice things about the new shapes that they've added into the game is that we can actually build stuff like this. Almost sound like I hit puberty again. That's how you know I'm not feeling well, right? Alright, and so what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up with these basically out like this. And I'm going to come back and take some of these out, because we're going to have storage on one side. You know, we're going to armor stuff up, and so this whole thing is, when it's done, we'll see what we can end up with. Actually, I want this to go out at least one more, because what we're going to do here is we're going to bring that up. We're going to bring that up. And I think that is about... No, I want one more. Because that's going to be our thruster array. Should I have thrusters? Alright. So, what we want is... we do 2 there. Two there, and we're going to end up with 4 on each side. At least that's the idea. But for now, excuse me. For now, we're just going to do 2 on each facing. And then when what we'll end up doing is I'll place 1 just to get it up in the air, and then what we'll actually, you know what, we can do that now. We can go ahead and do this here, because I'm going to do these here anyway, but alright. And that gives us our basics for what we really need. So let's go ahead and throw 1 unit of power in here. And what I was talking about here is, as you can see below. So if we power, let's power this thing on. And so what that allows you to do is to actually have a little bit better view when you're trying to dock with things, and that's going to be really important when we get a little further into the season, because what we want is this ship is actually going to be docking with our CV. So we will see how it all goes. I wanted to thank you all for stopping in today. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I do apologize again for my my voice. I know I do sound a little rough, and hopefully not making anybody cringe, at least not any more than normal. So if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw it down in the section below the video. And as always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Let's see what we can do with this.